Welcome back, language superstars, to English Resonance. I'm Danya, your fired up host, and I'm absolutely thrilled to have you here for an episode that's bursting with excitement and inspiration. Today, we're diving into one of the most exhilarating topics you can master in English, describing your dream vacation week. Whether you're dreaming of sun-drenched beaches, misty mountain trails, or vibrant city adventures, this episode is your ultimate guide to expressing those experiences with confidence, flair, and native-like fluency. At English Resonance, we're all about turning your English into a vibrant tool for connection. And I'm going to walk you through every step of crafting a vacation story, from the spark of planning to the glow of reflection. With practical vocabulary, natural expressions, and storytelling tips, you'll be ready to share your holiday tales with anyone, anywhere. So grab a notebook, let your imagination run wild, and let's embark on this thrilling language journey together. Subscribe to English Resonance for weekly episodes that will supercharge your English and make your voice unstoppable. The magic of a vacation starts with planning, and this phase is where your English story takes shape. Planning is all about action, and English has a treasure trove of verbs to bring that energy to life. Book, plan, arrange, decide, prepare, and pack. Imagine you're gearing up for a week in a tropical paradise. You might say, I booked a beachfront bungalow last week, or we're planning a road trip through the desert. These verbs are the backbone of your story, simple, powerful, and full of purpose. Try phrases like, I'm arranging a guided tour of ancient ruins, or I need to pack my hiking gear for the mountains. These are the kinds of sentences you'd hear in real conversations, whether you're chatting with friends or sharing plans at work. The goal isn't perfection, it's clarity and confidence. Say, we decided on a cozy lakeside cabin, or I'm preparing for a city escape to Tokyo. These expressions capture the buzz of anticipation and set the stage for an unforgettable story. When you're planning, you're also making choices, and English loves decision-making phrases. Try, we chose a hotel with a rooftop pool, or I decided to book a cooking class in Italy. Add a dash of excitement. I couldn't wait to reserve my spot on a safari, or we're organizing a family getaway to the coast. These phrases radiate enthusiasm and pull your listener into your world. Practice them out loud to feel the rhythm. I'm saving up for a trip to Paris, or we're planning a week of adventure in the Alps. Record yourself, listen back, and notice how your voice grows stronger with each try. This is how fluency builds, one sentence, one story at a time. At English Resonance, I'm here to guide you every step of the way, helping you sound natural and confident. Now, let's fast forward to the moment your vacation begins, the part where your English gets to shine like never before. Once you're on your trip, you shift from planning to living the experience, and that means a whole new set of vibrant verbs. Explore, discover, visit, try, enjoy, relax, and experience. Picture yourself in a charming seaside town. I explored the harbor at sunrise, or we discovered a hidden beach with crystal waves. In a bustling city, you might say, we visited a famous cathedral, or I tried spicy street food at a night market. Or maybe you're in the wilderness. We hiked to a stunning waterfall, or I experienced the thrill of ziplining through the jungle. These action verbs make your story leap off the page, painting a vivid picture for your listener. Details are what transform a good story into a great one. Instead of saying, I went to the beach, try, I wandered along the shore, the warm sand soft under my feet as seagulls soared overhead. Instead of, I visited a city, say, we strolled through bustling markets, the air filled with the scent of fresh coffee and street food. Sensory details, sights, sounds, smells, bring your story to life. For example, the mountain air was crisp and pine-scented, or the city lights danced like stars against the night sky. Practice these descriptions. I savored a cold mango smoothie by the pool, or I explored an ancient temple, its stone walls whispering history. The more you paint the scene, the more your listener feels like they're right there with you. And that's when your English truly sparkles. Emotions are the heart of your vacation story, giving it depth and connection. Use phrases like, I felt so relaxed by the ocean, or the view from the cliff was breathtaking. Say, I was thrilled to try surfing for the first time, or the quiet village felt like a warm embrace. These expressions show what the experience meant to you, making your story personal and relatable. Go big with, it was the most incredible place I've ever seen, or I've never felt so alive. Emotions connect you to your listener, no matter their background. Practice sentences like, the festival was electric, I couldn't stop dancing, or I felt like I was living in a dream. These phrases add authenticity and heart, making your English unforgettable. As your vacation week unfolds, you'll likely have moments of connection with others, and these add spice to your story. Try, I met a group of travelers at a beach bonfire, or we bonded with locals over a shared meal. Describe activities like, I joined a pottery workshop, or we signed up for a guided hike to a volcano. These phrases inject energy and personality, like we laughed with street musicians in the plaza, or I chatted with a vendor about life in the village. Human connections are what make travel special, and sharing them in English builds conversational fluency. They're also just plain fun to talk about, those spontaneous moments that make a trip unforgettable. Halfway through your week, highlight the moments that stand out. Use phrases like, the highlight of my trip was, or I'll never forget when. For example, the highlight of my trip was watching dolphins leap from the sea, or I'll never forget the sunrise over the canyon. These phrases spotlight your story's peak, drawing your listener in. Try, kayaking through a mangrove forest was unreal, or the moment I stood atop the ancient pyramid, I felt history come alive. These sentences are simple yet powerful, and they make your story pop. Practice them with different scenarios: a snowy ski trip, a tropical island escape, or a cultural city dive, and watch your storytelling skills soar. As your vacation winds down, reflection brings your story full circle. This is where your English takes on a deeper, more thoughtful tone. Say, this trip was the adventure of a lifetime, or I came back feeling like a new person. Reflective phrases like, it was an unforgettable week, or I feel recharged and ready for anything. Wrap up your story with impact. Share lessons learned. I realized how much I love exploring new cultures, or this week taught me to slow down and savor the moment. These phrases show fluency beyond events. They reveal your inner world, and that's where true connection happens.
Here's a full example to ignite your imagination. Last summer, I planned a trip to Bali. I booked a villa nestled in rice fields and packed light for island life. From the moment I arrived, the lush greenery and warm air stole my heart. Mornings were for exploring ancient temples, their stone carvings glowing in the sunlight. I tried spicy nasi goreng at a local warung, the flavors dancing on my tongue. One day, I joined a surfing lesson and rode my first wave. Pure exhilaration. The sunsets were unreal, painting the sky in shades of pink and gold. I met a local family who invited me to a traditional dance performance, and we shared stories late into the night. I felt so alive, so connected to this vibrant culture. By the end of the week, I didn't want to leave, but I returned home with a heart full of memories and a new sense of peace. This was a trip I'd always dreamed of. That story feels alive, doesn't it? It's built with simple, powerful English. Verbs like plan, explore, try, and feel, woven with vivid details and emotions. You can do this too. Write your own vacation story. real or imagined, and use those verbs. Practice out loud. Record yourself and listen to your progress. Try a different setting. I planned a ski trip to Colorado, booked a lodge, and skied down snowy slopes every morning. Or, I explored Istanbul's bazaars, trying sweet baklava and dodging lively crowds. Each story builds fluency, confidence, and connection. For extra flair, use time expressions like on the first day or by the final evening to guide your listener. Connectors like and, but, because, and so make your story flow. I wanted to relax, but the city's energy pulled me into adventure. Very sentence length for rhythm. The beach was stunning. I spent hours swimming, sunbathing, and watching the waves crash against the cliffs. Answer questions like, where did you go? What did you do? How did it feel? To shape your story. For example, I went to Iceland, explored glaciers, and felt like I was on another planet. Let's try another example. I planned a week in New York City, booking a hotel in Times Square. The moment I arrived, the neon lights and honking taxis hit me like a wave. I explored Central Park, the autumn leaves crunching under my feet. I tried a classic New York bagel, warm and chewy at a corner deli. One day, I joined a Broadway show tour and felt the magic of the stage. The skyline from the Empire State Building was jaw-dropping, especially at night. I met a street artist who shared stories of the city, and we laughed over coffee. I felt so energized, so inspired by the city's pulse. By the end, I returned home buzzing with ideas and memories I'll never forget. See how easy it is to create a story that feels real and exciting? You don't need complex grammar or rare words, just clear, emotional English. Practice with different settings. I booked a safari in Kenya, spotting elephants and feeling the wild's heartbeat. Or, I explored a Swiss village, sipping hot chocolate by a snowy chalet. Each story strengthens your fluency and lets your personality shine. Here are more tips to elevate your storytelling. Use time markers like the next morning or on the final day to keep your story organized. Add connectors for flow. I was tired, but the view was worth it. Mix short and long sentences. The jungle was alive. I trekked through dense vines, hearing monkeys chatter and feeling the humid air on my skin. Practice answering, what was the best moment? Who did you meet? What did you learn? For example, the best moment was dancing at a Caribbean festival, surrounded by joyful locals. I learned to let go and live in the moment. Let's dive into another scenario to keep the inspiration flowing. I planned a trip to Santorini, booking a villa with a view of the caldera. The whitewashed buildings and blue domes felt like a postcard come to life. I explored narrow streets, the scent of fresh seafood in the air. I tried local wine at a cliffside taverna, the taste crisp and unforgettable. One day, I joined a boat tour to volcanic islands, diving into warm springs. The sunsets were magical, painting the sky in fiery hues. I met a photographer who shared tips over coffee, and we watched the stars emerge. I felt so free, so inspired. This trip was everything I had hoped for and more. Each story you craft builds your skills. Try a desert adventure. I booked a camel trek in Morocco, sleeping under a blanket of stars. Or a city escape. I explored London's markets, trying fish and chips while rain tapped my umbrella. The possibilities are endless, and every sentence is a chance to grow. Use adjectives to add color. Vibrant, serene, thrilling. For example, the vibrant festival filled the streets with music, or the serene lake reflected the mountains. Practice pacing. Slow down for emotional moments, speed up for action. And don't fear repetition. Using enjoy or try multiple times is natural in storytelling. Your English is a tool for connection, and every story you tell is a step toward fluency. Practice daily. Share your stories with friends, a language partner, or online. Join the English Resonance community and let your stories inspire others. Fluency isn't about perfection, it's about courage and connection.
Every time you speak, you're building a stronger, more confident voice. Whether you're describing a real trip or a dream vacation, your voice matters. So grab those verbs, plan, explore, try, and feel, and weave them into your own stories. Imagine a trip to Japan. I booked a ryokan in Kyoto, explored cherry blossom gardens, and felt like I'd stepped into a painting. Or a mountain retreat. I hiked through the Andes, the crisp air filling my lungs, and felt unstoppable. As you reflect on your own vacation stories, think about how they've shaped you. Maybe you discovered a love for adventure, or perhaps you found peace in a quiet moment by the sea. These reflections are what make your stories powerful, and they're what make your English come alive. Practice telling your story in different ways. Change the setting, the activities, or the emotions. Each version strengthens your skills and builds your confidence. And here's the best part. The more you practice, the more natural it feels, until one day you're telling these stories without even thinking about it. That's the magic of fluency, and it's within your reach. So keep those verbs in your pocket, those details in your mind, and that passion in your heart. Write a new story today. Maybe a beachscape, a city adventure, or a wilderness trek. Record it, share it, and celebrate your progress. You're not just learning English, you're creating connections, sharing experiences, and building a voice that the world needs to hear. At English Resonance, I'm cheering you on every step of the way, and I can't wait to hear the incredible stories you'll tell next. So grab this episode, share it with a friend who's learning English, leave a review to help others find us, and subscribe for more tips to make your English soar. I'm Danya, and I'm here to guide you as you dream big, speak boldly, and let your English take you to incredible places. Keep practicing, keep storytelling, and let's make your next vacation story the best one yet.